Welcome back to the Unbound Priestess podcast. I'm your guide, Leandra Witchwood, and today we're continuing our journey into the realm of wild spirits. In our last episode, I discussed what it means to remember the wild, to reconnect. Today, we're going to the green world, the realm of plant spirits. These allies are all around us, waiting for us to listen and to walk in relationship with them. This isn't about herbalism, it's about communion, reciprocity. I want to start by telling you about a time of deep grief. When I was a child, I was exhausted, and I found myself in a garden of a friend, and their mom, I swear she had to be a witch, although never admitted, she had these giant mugwort plants growing there. This was shortly after my brother had passed away. Everything was in turmoil. Everything was upside down. It was like walking through a thick mist. I couldn't make things out. I couldn't make sense of anything. And I was drawn to this plant, to just sit next to this plant. And as I sat there, I felt a shift. I felt for a moment that everything was going to be just fine. That, yeah, he was gone, but he was not forgotten. And I believe this was my first introduction to the veil thinning. My dreams that night were incredibly vivid, and they were filled with messages, including a visit from my brother. This is when mugwort stepped into my life as a teacher to show me how to rest, how to reconnect, and how to trust. This experience isn't about olfactory or chemistry. It's about those experiences we can't explain, that we can't quantify. And you're going to have many of those experiences when you're working with the natural world. So today, when I am remembering that moment, when I'm feeling grief for any loss that I have encountered, I brew a cup of mugwort. I sit quietly with a candle lit, my journal open, to let anything flow through me, to let the words, the messages, to be channeled in the way that they need to be channeled. And I sit in companionship, in partnership with mugwort, as mugwort soothes my soul, as she guides me as a present, actionable companion that works quietly, right under the surface. And soon, not long after you start working with plants in this way, you realize that they are the wisdom keepers. They are the storytellers. They are the teachers. They are the guides, the trusted wisdom. So let me be clear. What do I mean when I talk about a plant spirit? Every plant, from the mighty oak to the tenacious dandelion growing out of the sidewalk, carries a consciousness. Now, to be clear, this is not a human consciousness. This is a spirit, a presence, a vibration, a sovereign vibration that we can feel and we can work with if we choose to slow down and notice it, to remember it. In witchcraft, we often talk about correspondences like rose for love, rosemary for memory, basil for prosperity. These are very useful keys to help us remember what that plant is typically used for. Working with plant spirits goes beyond memorizing aspects, attributes, and energetic associations. It is about relationship, about reciprocity. You'll hear me say that a lot, but it's so important. And our relationship with plants, plant spirits and plants is going to be different than our relationships with your human spirits, with your human friends and family. When you sit with them, when you taste them, when you work with them, you begin to experience a personality, a voice, their magic. And this is why magical herbalism works so well. Can you think of a witch anywhere who does not have some sort of herbal apothecary, some sort of cabinet filled with herbs? Herbs speak to us directly. They are willing to work with us immediately. It's so easy to work with them. This is essential for creating an authentic path, for creating an authentic witchcraft practice, because it roots us in right relationship rather than performance. And that one's a really hard one these days because we have social media where the performance matters because the performance gets us likes and shares, right? And if you haven't noticed, if you've been following me for a hot minute, you notice I'm not a performer. And to me, that is my authentic expression. I don't perform. I'm giving you the raw experience, the truth from within. I'm not telling you or showing you what I think you want to hear or what the algorithm tells me that you want to hear. Many people who need to hear this message will probably never ever hear it. But when we start working with plants and we start building our connection, our relationships, then we start seeing that magic blossom. We start seeing the impossible, miracles even happen. And when we listen to their wise words, their wise stories, their wisdom to help navigate our path, then we step into a deeper relationship. I want to invite you to do a simple ritual with me right now. And this is a simple ritual to help you meet a plant spirit that wants to work with you. So go to your spice cabinet, your apothecary cabinet, wherever you have herbs or spices. And I want you to grab one. Don't think about it too hard. Just grab one, whichever one pops out at you first. And I don't want you to do anything to it except I want you to sit with it. Maybe you brew a tea out of it and hold it in your hands. Maybe you just sit with the dried herb in your hands. Maybe you went out to your garden and got a clipping. Or maybe you're in your garden, sitting in your herb garden. And I want you to take a deep breath and just sit with this herb, with this plant. I want you to close your eyes. And silently or aloud, whichever you prefer, whichever you're able to do, I want you to ask that plant, what do you want me to know? And I want you to wait for the answer. If you brewed a tea from this plant that you chose, I want you to sip it slowly. Take notice of it. What does it taste like? What does it smell like? How does it feel in your mouth? Does it feel soothing? Does it feel a little spicy? Is it activating? How does your body respond? And write down any sensations in your notebook or in your journal. What emotions did you feel? Did you feel any emotions? Did you get any messages? And now to be clear, plant spirits don't always speak to us immediately and directly. Sometimes they come later. So pay attention in the next 3 or 4 days. I want you to pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to synchronicities. Pay attention to where you might see this plant show up and in what manner did it show up. And then you will start to discover, the more you do this, you'll start to discover how that plant speaks to you and how it wants to connect with you. If this ritual lights something up inside of you, if you feel that even the smallest spark of recognition has awakened inside of your body, I want you to join me in the Witch's Grove. This is a 6-week container where we will dive deep into working with plant spirits, working with animal guides, elementals, not just as concepts, but living allies for our magic and for our path. You'll learn to discern their voices, build their trust, and walk in reciprocity. So check out the show notes for the link or go to leandrawitchwood.com to learn more. I do want to pause here for a moment and remind you that plants are sovereign beings. That's why we have to learn to be in relationship with them. They're not here to simply serve us. They give generously, yes. They don't have to help us. They chose to help us. They chose to evolve with us, to help us with our ailments, to help us with our needs. And for that, they deserve respect. When we harvest, when we sip, when we cook with them, when we burn incense, when we take something as precious as the natural world around us to apply it to our needs, we must remember to give thanks, give an offering, maybe a song or water, a small gesture of gratitude. This is the heart of our path, reciprocity. As we close today, I want to leave you with a journal prompt because if you know me by now, if you've been hanging out with me for a hot minute, you know that I like to give you things to do. I want you to take the information I give to you and I want you to apply it to your path and use it. So here's your journal prompt today. If one plant were to step forward as your teacher right now, which plant do you think that would be and why? Let yourself be surprised by what comes to you. Don't think about it too hard. Again, we're not overthinking anything. We're not ruminating. We are going to let that plant come to us. And then I want to leave you with an affirmation. I listen to the wisdom of the green world. Say that again. I listen to the wisdom of the green world. Thank you for walking this path with me today. Next time, we'll turn to the animal messengers and the animal world, the beings of fur and feather and scale and skin who arrive in our dreams, who arrive at our doorstep, cat distribution system, right? Who interact with us on our daily journey, who fly above us. Until then, may you walk gently, listen deeply, and know you are never alone in the grove. Blessed be.